Brian here with you to look at this batch of 8 19th century juvenile books, all by Harry Castlemon. They're primarily frank stories of it's the Gunboat series, books for boys. Frank, the young naturalist, Frank this, Frank that. You know, this young man here, Frank, goes on all types of adventures. It was a popular juvenile series in its day. These pictorial spines are very attractive on the shelf today. This one has a couple tiny little holes along the rear joint, and they tend to get a little bit shaken too. The signatures within the books tend to loosen over time due to the binding technique and style that was used. So what you wind up with are slightly protruding signatures. They all have these kind of wood engraved full-page illustrations in them. But this is quite typical, actually, for books of this vintage that are juvenile books that are bound, especially by coats. For some reason, Coates books are susceptible to this. It must have something to do with the method they used when they were sewing them at the bindery. And then we've got two other here, the Sportsman Club books, as opposed to the Gunboat series. This was a prolific author. It was a pseudonym, if I'm not mistaken, and sort of like the Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boy books, they're just churning these things out because they had a ready waiting audience for them. I think that the best way to see this batch of books today for the modern eye is to view it for the shelf decoration quality of it, because I think we can safely say that the contents would be quite stilted by modern standards. They'd be sort of stereotypical plotting and so on. But when you get them all lined up on a shelf, it's a really wonderful appearance. And this batch of 8 of them is available now online from me, Brian DiMambro.